You remember this sad little feller, our parts tractor, that's been in my way for like 2 years now? And I keep saying I'm gonna move it and then never get it done. Well, the day is surely drawing near, my friends. And I guess it's a good thing I didn't drag it out to its heavenly haven in the woods, because I need some stuff off of it now. And so we're gonna try to do that thing right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rusty Oliver, man. This is a 1365. Something's living in there. I just saw it crawl in there real fast. Whatever it is, hopefully it won't hurt us too bad. But we need to get in here and assess the situation, friends. Could a guy get some tie rods off of this tractor? Because as you may or may not recall, our 1250-A is about negative on tie rods. Somebody went to the trouble to homemade bend up some nonsense, and that ain't gonna fly. So it would probably be a good idea to, it's just so sad that I never get stuff done that I think I'm gonna get done, like put away parts. They just move around from one flat surface to another. But anywho, my plan here is try to get some tie rods off. This end ain't gonna be no problem to get out of there or to get the nut off, but the inner part could be a struggle, because we'll have to turn it to get it out here. And quite honestly, I don't know what kind of condition we're in here. Do I think that maybe I could turn the wheel and it would actually turn out there where it would work? You're not getting a very good camera view because of the sun. Let's see, it would have to go this way. Okay, this is gonna struggle. Come on. Boy, it'd be nice if the power steering would kick in and we do the other side. In theory, it should be easier because we're only going to be turning one wheel. Actually, if I had been thinking with my dipstick, which I'm not, had I taken the tie rod off like taking this end off, I wouldn't even have to move the wheel probably. I would just be moving. Yeah. It's almost there, but not quite. I mean, I kind of feel like I guess we would have to have the wheel out of the way, at least this away a little bit, so we had room to swing back there. Yeah, moo to you. I got enough room here, so let's try to take this loose, get it knocked down, and then we'll turn it more to get that other side off and see if we can get it out of there. I don't know, I've never done this before, so it's gonna be interesting. I have never had a FIAT tie rod completely off. So anything and everything is possible. And you're gonna ask, why don't you just buy new ones? Well, I thought of that. They're $125 a piece. And I'm a cheap person. So I'm going to try to not do that thing. I'm also going to try to not disturb whatever living creature is inside of that motor, just in case it's poisonous. That's close enough. It's probably metric, but the thing is, if you peer pressure enough, stuff comes loose. Now, what we're going to do is try to wedge something in there and pry down. And of course I don't have a real pry bar here, but I got a tire tool for taking split rims apart. Can I get it in there somehow? Not really very good, can I? I'll use my foot. This is a good way to get hit in the teeth. But usually if you hit them, you know, there with some pressure on, they'll pop out of that taper and your life will be great. However, in practice, it ain't working that. Moo! Moo to you! Come on. See, I don't want to hit down on this nut, because that is almost guaranteed to be sadness. If I had one of those pullers that slipped on here, I could push that sucker right out of there. But I don't. I should probably get an actual pry bar. You know, an actual pry bar. I don't know what those cows are going on about. They like to moo. Well, let me think here. Let me try to find a better pry bar or something and see if I can get it popped out of there. Man, I forgot to push record. Pry bar is just a fancy word for a long piece of metal you don't care about destroying. And that's what this is. You may recognize that from previous episodes as the broken shaft of sadness on Dad's 5209 New Idea mower. But it fits in there in such a way that I can stand on it and then hit this and get her out. Now, the problem that presents with us here, I won't be able to do that on this other part. So, what I might have to do is hang this back. I might, yeah. Think about it, dum-dum. I might in fact have to have this part way in there like I did, with the idea that it will, I can then pry down on, you'll see what I'm talking about. It makes sense in my brain. See, what you're going to do is the almost obnoxious opposite thing of what you just did. But what I'm getting at is, we got that one loose. See? So now we're going to turn it out all the way. We're going to get the other one, and we're going to try to wedge this in to pry down on that one and get it popped out of there. And then we'll just see what happens. I don't know. Well, it looks like that's all she wrote. So, you're probably not going to get a good, well, that might be a good angle. But we got to first get the nut off. It's going to make us work for it, friends. See, I was thinking ahead like a carpenter who builds stairs. I've got this extension. Oh my goodness, friends. Let's see if this metric tie rod will come out of here. It's probably going to go so crazy now and bust me in the teeth, but there. Okay, that's what we wanted. There. Now that we got the procedure down, we should, in theory, be able to replicate our results on the other side, because science. So I need to turn the wheels the other way now so that that side is sticking out, and then repeat this same thing we just did. I mean, it worked pretty well, surprisingly enough. See, if we get this stripped down enough, then it won't hurt to take it to its forever grave there. I shouldn't say forever. It'll be there till I die and the scrappers come and cut up all my stuff, and yeah. You won't get it at an auction. It'll be all scrapped. Oh, much easier with only one wheel. Come on, trash. Stupid weeds. Ouch. Oh, this one's going to be more difficult. Maybe. I guess we'll do it in the same order we just did, because that worked. So why mess with results? Let's struggle. Can you see? I better look. Yep, you can see. Gotta get my hammer tightened up again. The tractor's not even a good flat surface because everything's loose on it. I also want to pull this off at some point and put it in the shed, because these are getting to be hard to come by, these steering assist cylinders. And then I could put this on my 1365 because it's got a piece of angle iron on it, but do I want to do that? I don't know. I'll wait till I destroy something first and then wish I had done it later. That's how life goes. Now I got to remember how because you're contending with the floorboard here. So you got to put it in there like that. And put your leg on it like that. Then do that. And we got to put this back up now. Remember, because we need it to stay up in the air when we get the other side broke loose. And we'll get our impact back. There. Now you can see. That one looks like they put a different end on it. And it also answers another question that I had a minute ago, looking at that other side, and I'll explain that in just a second. Let's get see if we can get this out of there. I don't know how we're going to do it, because I can't. Why is this different? This shouldn't be different. I can't. Is that not how I did it a minute ago? Friends, my brain shut off. How did I do it? I need to go this way, maybe, and then pry down. Can't get a good hit on it. It's like you don't want to be saved. Why wouldn't you want to be saved and live on? I can offer you temporary life. Probably not eternal, because I'll probably replace them anyway. Stupid tractor. Oh, shoot. Oh, finally. Finally. Good grief. That was a struggle for no reason. Now we gotta pick up all our stuff as we immediately drop it down in the... Well, we got it. We had to use some more of our auction buy tools, but we got it. All right, what I noticed here before I threw all the tools and everything on the ground is that this one we just struggled with, it still has a nut on there, like you're supposed to jam against the tie rod, and this one did not. So one of the two has been replaced, and I'm apt to say that this one is not right, because almost everything I've ever seen had a jam nut for the tie rod, but maybe they didn't on the Fiat. I don't know. Never looked that close. Have to look at one of the others. But the point is, I got these off of there, so now they might be used on the 1250A. Look at this hot little mama right here. And Buddy the dog right there. But yeah, I wonder if I'd be so lucky as to the fact that they would be the right length. What do we think? I doubt it. I mean, but you never know. It looks kind of similar to what it was. I'm going to have to turn the wheels. Buddy the dog is, I don't know what he's doing. Something that Buddy the dogs do. Come on, tie rods. Don't fail me now. Piece of all thread. Okay, yeah, we can get to it. Whoa, relax. All right, let's just hold up and see. Well, see, this actually was the one. Ouch! Oh, that hurt. Okay, so this was the corresponding one, and of course, well, it's very close, but I don't think, I think we're off by one ka-chunk. And you're gonna say, why is that? Well, because of the axle. Because of the axle. But that may not be true either, because it could have been kind of pigeon-toed actually, or it could not be going the full amount. Should I put this in? Should I heat this up and get this loose? What should I do? I just have a feeling that it's not right. That's kind of a given. I just don't believe that I'd be lucky enough that. We're not off by much though. That's what makes me question. Like if we'd put it in and then see. I just don't think we're enough, or I think it needs to be together more. What to do? Well, yeah, see, I'm afraid that that's gonna be a homemade tie rod delete. Boy, that's close. Boy, that's close. Let's put it on and see what happens. Can't really get an impact in there, can I? It's easier to do when there's no radiator in the tractor, is there? Oh, I think this is, if it comes to the middle when it's, you know what I'm saying? If it'll center, then we're just right. But I don't know. I kind of question it. Okay. What I'm thinking is, well, I really wish that middle one was tighter, slightly. But I'm going to tighten it up a little bit more. And then I'm going to turn it straight ahead. Or maybe I want to turn it all the way and do the other one and then just turn it straight ahead. And see if the wheels are pointing remotely close to straight. Because if they aren't, then we got to do some major stuff. But I'm feeling better. These are much safer than a piece of, you know, a piece of this. Yeah. Yeah, see there, it's gonna start to turn. That's what I was afraid of. If I hold it up, maybe I can get it. See, you realize, people, the only thing holding this in there really is a taper. The only thing that holds that piece from turning is the patented wedging action of metal on metal. And you tighten it up by pulling it deeper into the taper. So, if you want to hold it tight, you gotta, there we go, now we're getting somewhere. But I can potentially do some adjusting without taking both ends loose. I could leave that inner side in if I had to, maybe, probably. Not at all. Let's straighten her out and see if that thing is kind of in the middle. I don't think it's going to be. I feel like it's, oh well, it might be. It might be that it just needs a fine tuning. I can't tell. It's very difficult to tell what you're doing. And you're gonna say, why not use that power steering to help you? Well, it didn't seem to help when I tried it before. Didn't seem to help. How's this gonna go? Well, about like we figured. How's Ross gonna get that out of there? About like that. Turn it till it comes loose. That's a nice one. I mean, look at the tight bend he made on that tie rod. Very nice, very nice. All right, so part of me wants to make this really nice right away. Part of me wants to just full send it and see what happens. And I guess we all know what part of me's gonna win. You like how you can really see because of all this stuff in the way? Yeah, it's working great. Also, I think I might have slightly boogered these threads, which is gonna make this work great, friends. Boy, it looks like it might work. It's too long though. But I think what's happened is, on this one, I think this has happened. I think that's why the nut is back. That's what I think. I might be wrong. What would happen if we just, did that? You know? Let's just see. See, it's a fine line before you're hurting yourself with progress, because you can't do the thing. You don't have room. This piece comes in front of you. This was not their finest hour here. I like a lot of the stuff they did, but this part, I just don't know about that. Also, you know what's going to have to happen? I'm going to need to probably spin this on with the impact of time or something to straighten out threads, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if I can successfully. Well, I'm sure that it's pigeon-toed when we look at it. I'm sure that it's going to be not right. But I even moved this one in. So, I don't know. Can I hold it remotely at all? I feel like it's not going to take much. And the clearance, there's not much. I mean, when you get these tightened down in there, you're clearing the front axle casting by just centimeters or millimeters or whatever they use to measure with. See there, now we're in trouble. It's spinning and I don't have any way to maneuver that. Let's see if I can trick it into playing. Yeah. Can I trick you into playing nice? No, of course not. See if I hold up against the taper. It should hold back for me. Shorty pry bar, are you enough to do what I need you to do? All I need is just a little help holding some tension. Are you up for the task? Cheap Tractor Supply discount aisle pry bar. Almost there. You probably can't see that, but trust me. We're going to be taking it off again. We know that. I mean, there's no way it's going to just work. It won't work the first time. That's against the law. It has to be a procedure where we do this most difficult task 15 times in a row, and then it will finally kind of work halfway. Well, now it's got 2 tie rods on it, but are they even remotely closely the right way? Let's turn. Oh, they're not even close, friends. Not even close. What I'm going to have to do, it's kind of humorous. Let's look at it. Oh, that pulled out again too. Oh, that's the problem. The problem is this one is junk, isn't it? Because didn't I have that threaded in there more than that a minute ago? And what's happened is it's, yeah, there you go. That's it. It's not any good, is it? Well, Knutson. Yeah, see, if that would have held like there, that would have been closer. It's still not right, but it would have been closer. Well, that kind of blows the big one, don't it? That means that I need to order at least one. And you're going to say, why don't you just order the pieces, which they make the pieces, but I'm afraid that at this point, like, the tube is junk, obviously, because it was like that on the parts tractor. It was pulled way out, and I questioned why it was so far. So I feel like we're probably pretty well in the center of the affair. So they would both need to go in a little bit. I mean, this one's going to have to go. Probably what has to happen, and I can't say that for sure, is that it needs to move the next notch in, and then the tie rods will probably have to be extended out quite a bit. So, see, I'm tempted to use this one because it looks like it would probably play ball. You know, if a guy could heat that up and I don't know, I can't tell if we're in the center. I don't think we are. I think we need to come this way more, which would pigeon toe that, but that's got a lot of thread sticking out. So I could screw it in and probably get it where it's straight ahead. But the question is it worth the safety aspect of it? My life is worthless, but you know, if I die from something stupid like reusing a scrapyard tie rod, that's probably not very smart, you know? So I guess I'll just have to bend over and take it and spend the money and buy the tie rods. There's only one place I've seen that sells complete tie rods, and that's in Canada, and they're 125 bucks a piece. So everywhere else wants to sell you one piece of the tie rod, and they want about 100 bucks for each piece. And I don't like that idea. That seems like a poo-poo idea. Way too much money for what it is. Maybe it's better quality, but I'm cheap, you know. I'm not so cheap that I'm going to kill myself with junkyard tie rods, but I will kill myself with cheap Chinesium tie rods. So I guess I'll order a set of those and we'll try this endeavor again. But in theory, that's slightly more safe than what was on there for the time being. Maybe I can put it around slowly and, you know, whatever. It's dumb. You know, whatever I do is wrong, so what do you say, you know? Let's hear it run again. It hasn't run for a good while. And it may not run from sitting. That's what I'm wanting to find out with this adventure. Will it run after sitting for a good while? Sweetheart fires right up. Nice little thing. We can't run it long because we don't have the right amount of water in it, but yeah. See, that ain't helping us at all, but looks to me kind of like that steering cylinder left the chat, you know. Probably needs rebuilt, is what I'm saying. Sleep. But that's okay. Rome wasn't built out of hay. In other words, we just got this yesterday. We can't expect to have it in perfect condition by the next day. I mean, that just don't ever happen. So it's okay if it's not. It's okay. We do need to get a better hose though for this. Somebody put them in a hole. I know why they did that, because of ether things. But quite honestly, friends, that's no good for anybody, you know. If you're in a public restroom and you see a hole like that in the wall, you better back away, because you probably won't like what comes out of there. But at any rate, they sell this hose new, so we'll get a hose. I think they actually sell a... See, what I'm going to do now is struggle doing something else instead of just talking and doing the thing at the one time, focusing on one task. But what I'm trying to say is they sell all that stuff new. I should probably get an upper radiator hose since I'm right there. It kind of looks crappy. And get that top air hose. I don't know. I've got some little things coming for it. We got to get the lights working on the dash so we know, you know, if the oil pressure gives up, we want the light to come on. We won't pay attention to it, but at least we'll, you know, not have an excuse. We'll have seen it. It's just a cute little horse, you know. It's as rough as it may look to you. It has a lot going for it. It's very original. It has a lot of its pieces other than some little doodabs, which I still can't understand why you would like that throttle rod. Why would that be? Did somebody have it apart once and lose it, or what's going on there? That doesn't make sense, but we can make that more better. But I'm just I don't know, I like it. When I saw the picture on the internet on the marketplace, I thought, I gotta have you. And it's just one of those things. Does it make sense to have this many tractors? No, but I like them, and I don't have that much money in them. Well, I'd take that back, I guess. If you look at it over time, yeah, I probably got a lot of money in them over time, but what I'm saying is the initial purchase price is low, so that leaves us room. Well, as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, I might have a lot of money in the tractors now, but when I buy them, it's for a low purchase price, which leaves you room to be able to throw parts at them and make them what you want. Then you don't have to be a metric ass millionaire to have 40 tractors. You can do it a little over time. You can just be a standard ass millionaire. So take that for what you will, but I think this will prove to be a fun little thing to have around, and it's neat to see them side by side with the other models. So that's kind of how I am. You got to collect them all. There's technically 5 different model numbers of these green Fiats, or not 5, there's 10 different model numbers of these green Fiats, and I have 5 of them. So we need to find a 1255, a 1265, and a 1270. That would be 3 more. And then we need to find a 1465 and a 1470. And then I think we would have the complete set of the different models. Then of course we could go, I would like to have a regular 1250 diesel, just because it's such a different tractor than the gas. So you could see the differences side by side. I've seen a few sell. I almost bought one the other day, and then I ended up seeing this and bought this instead because this is harder to find. So at any rate, I'm not disappointed with my purchase. It just needs a little love, like they all do when they come here. But there's no timeline on this project, so however long it takes, it takes. It's not like we need it to farm with. It's just one of those things that's fun to have around, and we'll tinker with it here and there. But it does start very excellently. We're going to service it all up and then maybe go through and try to replace some crappy hoses and things I see. Like the hydraulic hoses are a nasty mess, but we might wait to do all that hydraulic system stuff when we split it for the clutch thing, because we'll have to drain it out then anyway. So we might just park this to the side until we have time, and then, you know, kind of gather the parts we need in the background, and then when the time comes, we'll be ready to go. So I guess with that being said, I'm going to leave this one here. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.